Hey everyone, Mark Russell here from Russ 10 Soccer Coach, and welcome to my channel. Today I've got something a little different for you. Today I've got something that I've taken from YouTube, and it's apparently Maurizio Sarri's defending principles and defending situations when he was at Napoli. So I'm going to try and break down for you guys exactly why and how they go about these defending principles. If you followed my defensive principle videos, linked just here, then the play on this one should be pretty familiar to you. I suggest you watch both content, this one and the one I've just linked. I'll also leave a link in the description below for that one, because they tie in together. So just a quick disclaimer on this one, this footage isn't my own. I've seen it on YouTube, I've seen it on a couple of different channels. I took that footage because the other channels had a bit of music on it and one had nothing at all. If you've seen this footage before, I do apologise, but try and stick with it if you have, because you might pick up a few things as I'm going to break it all down. So just quickly before we go to the sessions themselves, if you're new here, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please subscribe and hit the like button. It's really important to my channel if you do. If you're returning, welcome back. I've had a few new subscribers. God, look at the hair, man, that's mad, isn't it? I need that cutting. I've had a few new subscribers, which I really appreciate. Which way I'm going here? Yeah, I've had a few new subscribers, which I really appreciate, and we're getting there and getting there every single week. So for those people returning, smashing it for me, thank you very much. Right, without any further delay, straight into the sessions. Hope you get something out of it. Feel free to comment below, and also if you get time and you want to comment, I'd really appreciate the feedback on the way I deliver this as well, because I'm narrating this one myself like I did a couple of years ago, rather than using the voiceovers that I've used recently.
Thanks for nothing, Mark.
So I'll really appreciate it if you could let me know what you think. Right, okay, let's have a quick look at this inside the video view. And we've got 4 defenders, all compact, 2 fullbacks, 2 centre halves. What we're going to see now is the players moving in tandem together and staying in tandem together. And it's important to remember this is a unit within the team. So within this unit, these players need to communicate and need to be as one. Very much like synchronized swimming, if you think about it. I mean, you know, they all know exactly each other's role, where they're going to be and where they need to be, as well as their own role. As the ball's played in, centre half comes out to meet the ball. His partner, the other centre half, is then tucking in behind by maybe a yard or 2. But it's really important to note that the 2 fullbacks and the remaining centre half are still in a great line. It's only one player who's pressed. If we have 2 players pressing, if we have 2 players going for the same ball, we're going to leave a lot of space for any mistakes or the ball dropping to an opposition player. They could utilise that space to get through us, no problem. So it's really important that we work together as a unit. Again, on this one you'll see the players will go, the ball's being played forward, the attacking team change and rebuild, which alters the transition movement of the defensive unit, and then they go back again, and as they go back again, the ball's now being played in, out comes the centre half, fullback and defender tuck in behind, just to secure all eventualities and tighten the space. Again, the ball being driven in from the opposition. They're probably looking to play into their number 9, and as our centre half comes out to meet this ball, you're looking at that defensive shape of the other 3 players. So yes, we're having a centre half come and meet the ball and attack the ball, but the defensive shape of the other 3 are really important, and it's a theme that you'll see consistently with good defending, good teams that are compact and well drilled. Obviously not every ball is drilled into us and drilled into the number 9. We have runners we have to contend with. As the player goes around the mannequin and attacks us with a dribble towards our defensive line, only one player presses, centre half tucks in behind his partner, fullback tucks in behind him as well a little bit, looking for eventualities, If our centre-half who's done the press is beaten one-on-one, we need to be in there covering behind. That's exactly what this young man does. It's great positioning just to pick up that loose ball and a little bit of a barge off the ball by the centre-half who's actually been beaten. Quick 1-2s in the middle here is going to keep our boys alive. Great movement out wide from the striker, out of possession, who hasn't got the ball. But again, covered really well by the shape of the defensive unit. Centre half presses, fullback has got the eventuality of a pass and a 1-2. The other centre half who didn't press is in behind just in case that player makes the 1-2 and goes for a return pass. Firstly on this one then, the centre half goes for the ball unchallenged. Obviously not game realistic, he's going to be challenged by a striker, by an attacker. If that ball becomes loose, the positioning of the defenders in behind him is so important to pick up those loose balls, to pick up those flick-ons ahead of the attacking team. You'll hear it often in grassroots football, second ball. It happens in professional football as well. You must pick up that second ball, but you've got to be in prime position to be able to pick up that second ball. It's useless if you are 20-30 yards away, you're chasing back, you can have a job on your hands to be able to get there before an attacker, a hungry attacker. If you're in that right position, you just pick up that flick on, that deflection, and away you go and you play out. So here our fullback's exposed, ball played into the middle. All of a sudden we're on a 3v3. Within that 3v3, the attacker's movement is absolutely spot on. They're shifting us around a little bit, they're crisscrossing, absolutely brilliant. We need to stay true to our defensive shape and true to our beliefs. One player presses, the other two pick up the runners. We should be absolutely fine if we defend this properly. So a big thing to note on this one is the movement of the back four. They're on their toes, they're ready for action, they're ready for explosion, they're ready for any eventuality. They're not stood still, they're side on. As the ball gets bounced back into the attacking team's probably defensive area, they're anticipating that through ball or that long ball. As the ball comes over, they're in great shape. Again, the centre half wins the ball, fullback tucks in behind, other centre half tucks in behind. The most important part of this one is the CDM is there to pick up that second ball. As the centre half wins it, he may even know he's there, he nods it down, CDM's in a great position to regain the possession, and out we go. So as mentioned, this is Maurizio Sarri's defensive formation, defensive training when he was at Napoli, apparently. I can't confirm that because I've just picked up this video off YouTube. But when I first watched it, I realised how much it matched my own philosophy, my own defending philosophies in playing. One thing I was concerned with was the gap between the centre half and the pressing fullback. They always seem to leave the centre halves together with the non-pressing fullback, which is cool, which is okay, but you need your hard-working midfielders to cover those gaps. And I think in this one you can clearly see that midfielder is ready to pop into that gap should any ball be played there. Again on this one, fullback's pressing, three other defenders are nice and compact and ready for action, but they're on their toes and catch the forwards in an offside position. But to do that, you've got to be lively and you've got to be on your toes, and every single one of you need to be communicating and you need to know when to step. So therefore it needs to somebody in control. In any position in football, you've got to be ready. The amount of times I'm coaching and I'm seeing players stood still, maybe arms folded, maybe not, but not looking like they really want to be there and they're really ready for sport action. You've got to be on your toes, ready for that explosive moments, those explosive 5 or 10 yard runs that happen so often in the game. So on this one we're quite spread out, and as the fullback's exposed to a pass, the opposition have got good runners coming through. So therefore the centre half has to cover and has to pressure himself. But look at the movement of the left fullback. He's back in, tucking in, covering for that centre half who's been exposed himself and had to press, and now they're back into shape with a back four, albeit the fullback covering the centre half and the centre half doing the fullback's job. These next couple of phases are a perfect opportunity to show you how hard it is for a unit to work and how hard you require that unit to work. First one, as you can see, they play 1, 2, 3, 4 passes, 5 passes to get the ball from right to left and as an attacking team. But as a defensive unit, they stay true to their shape, stay true to their line, and each fullback presses as and when. On the second phase, when the winger rebuilds into the midfielder, then switches the play with one sweeping pass, they are still in a great shape and they're still working hard for each other, side to side. When you're being pressed by a quality team, they're trying to shift you. They're trying to shift you out of shape. If you're playing maybe a mid block or a low block, not a high press, not a hard press, the opposition will shift you and shift you. It's a battle of wills. Do the attacking team lose faith in their passing ability? Do they look up and can't see any gaps because you are so solid? Or do you lose your shape as a defensive unit and get a little bit frustrated the opposition have got the ball? This is where you have to deal with your coach's tactics. This is where coaches have to be strong and have to really discipline their players to carry on in their beliefs. Opportunity will arrive to nick the ball and then we can play on the counter. So again on this one, the ball's recycled into midfield from the opposition. We've got a central midfielder closing down play. I'm assuming in gameplay we'll be told he can tackle. Obviously in this one he's told he can't. He's just jockeying. The ball's switched out onto their left forward, and the positioning of our centre halves. If you look at the centre half closest to the ball where the ball is switched, a lot of players and a lot of philosophies, immediately they will go and support their fullback and go and help. This one, the centre half basically, he's busting a gut to get himself back in that 6-yard box, back next to his partner, anticipating a cross coming in. When the cross comes in, they are there as a unit, 3 of them, left fullback, 2 centre halves. Yes, there's a gap. If the fullback gets beaten, we could be in a bit of trouble, but you've got a hard-working central defensive midfielder or a central midfielder looking to cover that as well, because he's come back in as well to join that unit and become part of that defensive unit. He will be the one that presses should the fullback be beaten for skill or pace on that far side. What I liked about this one is the intensity of the fullback closing down the player. If you don't close down those players, you are literally allowing them to cross the ball or pass the ball around you. But the way the fullback presses on this one, he presses so fast and so hard, denies completely the crossing opportunity and asks the attacker to make a decision. Does he take him on? Does he drop the ball back into play? On this occasion, he's obviously been given the instructions to drop the ball back into play, so therefore the cross can come in from the fullback. So this one again is really interesting. The fullback's obviously been told not to pressure. We're expecting the cross. We want the cross to come in, so the centre half's in a great position to deal with it. Cross comes in. The hard-working defensive unit have become compact. Front post covered, middle of the 6-yard box covered, back post covered, and a winner. And this time the winger's gone, the fullback's pressed, the ball's recycled into midfield, looking for that cross, probably from a fullback or a supporting midfielder, but our 3 are still in that box and still in that same shape. Although chasing back, they're still in that same shape. And the thing from this one is you can clearly see the fullback, who has been pressed and has been attacked himself, is now tucking back in and trying to get back in and to become a part of that unit once again as quickly as possible. Again, similar thing, just from the different side. Ball's recycled into a fullback or midfielder, and this time our defensive midfielder, highlighted in red, you can see his movement. He's there to cover any space and to cover any gaps and to cover any knockdowns that might come our way. But the shape is fantastic, as I said before, and this is what you've got to build on. This is what you've got to pick up on. Can you get your defenders working as a unit and working in tandem with each other and working in conjunction with the midfielders who are looking to pick up those knockdowns or cover that space and deny areas of attacking possibilities? And for the last one, as the ball gets recycled to the fullback, who then builds into the midfielder then looks to dink a ball in and pop a ball in at the back post or into the middle. But our fullback, who was originally being pressed, the left fullback, and he's got himself back into that defensive unit that, as coaches, we need to demand. So we've got some really good drone footage there. The back 4 working in tandem, being backed up by a centre midfielder, covering each other and working in their own unit within the team. Hope you enjoyed the footage. I just wanted to analyse it, break it down, give you guys the why, the what and the how. So why we do this, to keep our structure, how we do it, you've just gone through that. So basically the benefits, in my opinion, are having a strong, compact defensive unit is going to help you to concede less goals. So if you're a team what's conceding 4 or 5, 3, maybe 6 or 7 every week. You know, people play at different levels. This will hopefully, if you can drill this into your players, get you a chance of maybe conceding 1 or 2, maybe conceding nothing. But actually, if you think about it, conceding 1 or 2 still gives you an opportunity to get something out of the game. Conceding 5 or 6 every game is not good for you. It's not going to give you an opportunity to get a draw or a win out of the game. So if you've enjoyed this content, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Actually smash the like button, Peter McKinnon style. In fact, if you don't want to smash the like button, you don't want to ruin your keyboard or your phone, don't worry about it. Just give it a little tinkle, it gives me the same outcome. And I'm just going to finish with a little request. Please don't add me on my personal Facebook. I've got loads of people trying to add me. You know, the personal Facebook page is for that, just for the people who are my friends, etc. That's what it's for. I do have a soccer channel on Facebook, Russ 10 Soccer Coach. I've put links in the description. You can find me on there. We can chat on there, no problem. So once again, thanks for watching this content. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try and do a little bit more like this if I can grab some more content from YouTube or from wherever. Again, disclaimer, it's not my footage. Fair play to the person who recorded this. Kind of hope I'm okay using it. We'll have to wait and see if we get any backlash from this, but it's going out there for now, so hope you enjoy. That's it from me. See you guys next time.